Hey, what's up you guys? It's Sophia. So today I really wanted to film a semester recap video. First I wanted to preface this video with yes, I am in my car and I'm sorry if the lighting sucks, but I can't film in my apartment because the walls are paper thin, so that's really great. But I'll get more into that in this video. So being someone that just transferred to this school and has gone through a lot already in college, I really wanted to do kind of like a semester recap video and tell you guys what my experience was like being someone who has already gone through a lot in college and is now a transfer student, and this is the first time I've been in in-person classes since fall of freshman year, so I just really wanted to go over everything today. Okay, so let's just get started. I have a notes list on my phone of like kind of topics that I wanted to pinpoint, I don't know. First, I wanted to just give you guys a little briefing or recap, I guess, on what my college experience has been like so far. So I started off going to college at Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton. That is where I spent my fall of freshman year and my very first semester of college. I was in the dorms, but my home is very close to Boca Raton, and for me, felt that it was just a little bit too close to home for me, and I didn't really feel like I had that college experience of like being on my own. Even though I was in the dorm and I was like a little bit far away, it just didn't feel like a real college experience for me, especially like my brother went to FAU and like he lived at home during it, so like it just didn't do the right things for me, I guess. It just wasn't really the school for me, and I kind of knew that walking into the situation even, but I still did it anyways because I didn't want to go anywhere else at the time, and I was very unsure of what I wanted to do. Back then when I applied to FAU, I was actually applying as a business major, which I eventually changed into health science with a nursing track, and now I am a advertising and PR major. So obviously very different, but I will get into all of that and how that all happened. So obviously walking into the situation knowing that I wouldn't like FAU, I kind of knew that I was gonna end up transferring. So I think it was like literally September, like first month there, and I'm like already applying to transfer out. I pretty much only applied to 2 other schools because there was only 2 other schools that I knew I wanted to go to, which was University of Central Florida in Orlando and University of South Florida in Tampa. UCF was kind of a school that I always thought I would go to, but unfortunately, applying my senior year of high school, I didn't get accepted. USF was a school that one of my best friends had gone to, and then another one of my best friends I knew was also transferring here. So this was kind of like a school that I kind of was like, okay, this would be really good because both of my best friends go there already, and I knew that I would be in a good situation. So those were the only 2 schools that I applied to. I actually did apply to UF online, but I ended up changing my mind on that, and I didn't really want to do that, so it's kind of irrelevant at this point. And I applied to go to Spring. Let me preface with, I still very much enjoyed my time at FAU, even though like I like to say I was miserable every single day. I really had a good time, genuinely. I lived in the dorm. My roommate was one of my friends from high school, and I love her so much. I still love her. I think that was a really good environment. Our suite mates in that dorm weren't really the best, but it wasn't like anything terrible. But like I said, I just knew FAU was not the place for me, and I wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. So when I applied to transfer, I applied to Spring transfer. And my mom was like, you're not leaving in the middle of your first year of college. She really just didn't want me to go to a whole other school. And I really wanted to leave. So of course, I found my way around this. One day, I was just kind of like scrolling on my emails, I think, and I saw a Disney college program email, which I forgot that I had signed up for like back in high school. The Disney college program is something that I always wanted to do, and I knew I was always going to do it, but I thought that it would probably be more into my college experience, which obviously it wasn't. So I randomly applied for it, not even thinking anything of it. I didn't even think that if I got in I would go, because it was very sudden and I just didn't know if I wanted to go yet. So I applied for that, whatever, completely forgot about it, was still upset, just wanting to transfer or go somewhere else. And then November 1st, I woke up to an email saying that I got into the Disney College program. Obviously, when I got that email, I was very surprised and I didn't know what to do, because obviously the Disney College program is something that's always been my dream, but at the same time, my mom was telling me that I probably shouldn't leave so early and give FAU another chance. But I was just kind of like stuck, and I knew that I really wanted to go and be somewhere else. So I eventually decided that I was going to go and do the Disney College program, which I did. If you like watched my TikToks, I did like my whole TikTok was like Disney College program vlogs. I want to get into a whole other video about my Disney College program. I think that would be really cool to get into, because I never really like talked about my whole experience with the internet, and I haven't really like shared it, and a lot of the things that happened to me during that program. I am forever thankful that I did that program, because it taught me so many things and so many lessons, and I really just had a lot of fun, and it was my dream to work for Disney, so I'm really glad that I did it. I know for a fact my life would be very, very different if I never went and did my Disney College program. So I'm very thankful for it, but I do really want to do a video deep diving into my whole experience, because I think I just need to get it all out and rant, and I want to share my experience with other people who are thinking of doing the Disney College program. Anyways, getting off track. So my spring semester, freshman year, I went in March to do my Disney College program. When I got there, I swore I was gonna stay there forever. Clearly I didn't, and I loved it so much. I was only supposed to be there from March until August 25th, which was around when my sophomore year of college would have started. Now, going into my Disney College program, I actually was doing FAU online, so I was doing my spring classes online. Juggling a full-time job and full-time school, because I was taking a full class set, was a lot for me, and I ended up not doing very well in school, but that's besides the point. So I ended up extending my Disney College program after August until February 28th of 2023. So around August, I want to say, in my Disney College program, I got to the point where I was kind of over it. Not that I ever stopped working for Disney, like I loved it so much, don't get me wrong, but I think there was something inside of me that just kind of felt like I missed out on the whole college experience. And especially with obviously not doing well in my courses over the spring semester, and I had started taking courses in the fall again when my Disney College program was extending, I felt myself not doing good. I felt myself not loving my major, which was health science at the time, anymore, and I felt very stuck and I didn't know what to do. So at that point I actually applied to transfer schools again during my Disney College program, but that was back in March. And I had actually gotten accepted into the University of South Florida, and at this point in August, I was just kind of like, okay, I think that I'm going to go there. It was a very scary and hard decision, because I loved Disney so much and I didn't want to leave, but at the same time, I felt like I was missing out on the college experience, and I knew that I was not going to be able to maintain good grades in school if I stayed in Disney. And so it was a very tough choice to make, but I did eventually end up leaving Disney. Getting on to where we are today, I started USF in the fall, and that is like when I started USF technically, but all of my classes were online because I was still in Disney, and I was still a health science major at the time. And being in Disney really made me realize that being a nurse is not something I want to do anymore, which, like I said, my life would be completely different if I never did the Disney College program. I think I still would have been on my nursing track in college. I wasn't doing good in classes, not only because I was distracted with work, but also because I just was not loving what I was doing. I took a medical terminology class in the fall of 2022, which kind of determined for me and said, like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I finished out my fall online at USF, and then made an appointment right before winter break to change my major to integrated PR and advertising, which is what I am now. So getting into where we are today, I moved in over December in winter break, but then went home for winter break. So I officially moved in January, and I've been in Tampa ever since. So far I do really like it. Everyone asks me that, like, oh, do you love Tampa or Orlando better? And I'll usually always tell them, obviously, I love Orlando better because that's where Disney is. But I do really like Tampa. I just feel like Orlando is a little homier to me, but I am loving Tampa so far. I obviously have my two best friends, Jada and Courtney, here, and I've made a couple other friends while being here. But I will say one of the hardest things for me so far has been making friends. Obviously being in a new place, it's always hard to make friends, but at Disney it really came super easy for me, because everyone you work with is always super friendly and your roommates are great. But yeah, I did find that it was a little bit harder to make friends. So that was something I struggled with first coming here. I really only had like my two friends, but now I've made a couple other friends here, and I think it's gotten a lot better. But yeah, so I also wanted to say that this was my first semester taking in-person classes since my freshman year fall at FAU. So it's been like 1.5 years since I've been to in-person classes, but I want to say almost 2 years, because I only went to like the first 2 weeks of classes my freshman year, and I like maybe went to like a couple more, but I barely went to in-person classes. And this semester I went to almost every single class for my in-person classes. So I took 2 in-person classes and 2 online classes. Doing so much better in school. I have all A's and B's, so that's really exciting. Obviously changing my major has helped a lot. I love what I'm doing so much better now. It's obviously the path that I want to take. Anything with like PR and advertising I'm obviously very into. Obviously social media. One of my biggest dreams is to become a social media manager for the Walt Disney World Company, which is why obviously I want to go back to Orlando. But yeah, so my first year as a transfer student in person so far, I will say, has been really good. Of course there's been a couple ups and downs, but I have loved it a lot so far. Being in a new city always makes things a little bit difficult for me, just because obviously, like I said, I'm the type of person that really likes that homey feeling, and Orlando really just gave that to me off the bat. And Tampa, I think, has taken a little bit of time for that homey feeling to kind of sink in, but it does eventually sink in. Like, I am feeling like it is a little bit more my home now. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about staying motivated. So obviously in Orlando, it was very much harder to stay motivated because of my full-time job, working 40 to 50 hours a week. But here it's a lot easier. I have a part-time job where I'm working 15 to 20 hours a week, which is obviously cut basically in half, less than half from what I was used to working. But I find that I still am finding it a little bit hard to stay motivated here. It might just be because I don't really like the setup of my room. At my specific apartment, there's just like no other way that I can really move around my room, and it's very like cozy and homey vibes where all I want to do is lay in my bed. But besides that, at FAU it was so easy for me to just like walk to the library, and here, yeah, I could still go to the library, but being a transfer student and never like got that freshman year library experience here, I've never been to the library now, and it's obviously like a little intimidating, but it's like not that big of a deal. Like obviously I could just go, but you know how it is. My current roommate situation is nothing too horrible, obviously nothing compared to how it was in Orlando. I'll get into that. But it's that the walls are super thin, and I was the last person to move in there, so I don't feel totally comfortable. But I am moving out of there soon enough, so it's not that big of a deal. I knew going into it was only going to be 1 semester. It's definitely just hard in general living in a 4x4 apartment, because sharing a space with like 4 boys sharing a space is one thing, I think, but 4 girls sharing a space is a completely different topic. We just have so much more stuff, like we're girls, you know? So obviously it's a little bit harder, but all of the girls have been really nice. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything this semester. I am looking back and I'm really happy, like genuinely happy. And I don't think I could say that for when I was at FAU. So I'm really glad that I did transfer here. And if you are looking into or like deciding colleges and like you're looking at USF, I would definitely recommend USF. I love it here so far. I would definitely say it's not really like a party school, it's more of like in a city, so obviously it's more chill, but we have like our local college bars, which are obviously super fun. But yeah, if you're looking for like a party school vibe, that's not really what this is gonna be. But downtown is super close to USF, so it's super nice and not that far to go down there. I love going downtown, and the beaches aren't too far either. I really sometimes wish I went to the St. Petersburg campus of USF because it is just so beautiful there. But it's also not that far of a drive to go. Clearwater Beach is super close, which is so nice. And obviously Orlando is only an hour drive from me, which obviously you guys know if you watch my YouTube videos that I go a lot. But yeah, I wanted to wrap up this video by kind of just like going over my goals for next semester and kind of going on towards summer. So my first goal is obviously with my own like personal social media. I really want to grow in followers and I want to pick up the pace with it a lot more. I am posting 2 YouTube videos a week, or I'm trying to. I really am finding that I love doing social media and I really want to find myself just like growing in followers and making a lot more content for you guys. So another goal for the next semester is definitely keep up my grades. Obviously I've accomplished that goal for this semester. I feel very, very happy. I have 2 more finals to take and the semester is done, but I'm very happy with where my grades are at, and I hope that I can keep up that same energy next semester. Another goal I think is very important to me is just to get better study habits. I honestly, even though my grades are really good, I don't have that great of study habits. I like to procrastinate. My favorite thing in the world to do is procrastinate, but that's also when I do my best work for some reason. So that is something I would like to get better at by not procrastinating. Another goal I want to maintain for next semester is eating healthy. I have been eating so much better this semester compared to when I was in Disney. I was obviously eating like shit because that's all that's around you is shit. But I have been eating my own meals, I've been cooking, and I've been eating completely gluten-free, which I am so proud of myself for. And I also want to work on going to the gym more. I have, at the beginning of the semester, I was going a lot and I was really proud of myself, but as after like midterms and finals started coming up, it's been harder to keep up with going to the gym, but that is something I want to see myself maintaining during the summer and next semester. But yeah, my camera is about to die, so I think I'm gonna wrap up this video, but thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.